Hi folks, with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about what could be the possible implications of the Universal Basic Income, or UBI. Now, according to certainly what I've seen, the projected or predicted universal basic income amount is going to be somewhere between 13 and 14,000 US dollars a year. Now, I don't know what, how that's going to, play out or wash out as it becomes, and I think it is lurching towards a reality. If we look at the amount of jobs in the world, the amount of people in the world, then unless there's some almighty bubonic plague going on, then we've got 4 or 5 people for every job there is. So, and this is working age people, and with the amount of jobs declining due to AI and that sort of stuff, automation and so on. So we could go back the other way and say no automation. For example, when jobs are transplanted from the productive West to the third world, what we often, this was certainly the case with China, still is to some extent, they would close down a factory in, say, Australia that was highly automated, very efficient and so on. But because the wage arbitrage differential was so great, it was cheaper to make these goods in China. Now, and I've been, seen these sort of factories where you've got a very automated factory, very efficient, very automated, highly productive factory in the West, and then in China you've got these, these as far as the eye can see, these people sitting on benches with these, old antiquated soldering irons. Doing the work, it takes 100 people to do the work that one machine does in an advanced economy. But again, because the wage differential is so great, they can get that work done more cheaply than they can do it in the West. Now, the wage differential and tax deductibility, exchange rate arbitrage. There's other things that go into this. Lower quality goods, that sort of stuff. Cheaper raw material inputs and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, it's an example of how high productivity work is being transferred to low productivity economies because of that wage differential and exchange rate, round robining and so on. But coming back to the UBI, there just aren't unless we go back to primitive production methods, which I suppose is a possibility, but unless that happens, then there's going to be way fewer jobs than there are people who want them. That gap is going to be filled by, so we're told, by universal basic income. Now, I don't know how the jobs will be farmed out. It may be just farmed out unless you're a black, lesbian, trans person, you're not allowed to work or something. And some of these, or many of these jobs that exist won't be jobs that require competence or education or ability. So they'll be farmed out on the basis of, I think, politically correct patronage systems, pro-globalist people who hate straight white males will be given preference in employment. In fact, that's already happening. But how will it affect? What the globalists are being expert at doing is depressing wages, but sharply inflating goods, services, accommodation. So rents are, mortgages are far more expensive than they ever were, and are growing at a much faster rate than wages. Food prices much faster rate than wages. Energy prices way faster than wages. So the cost of living, day-to-day cost of living is and the reduced power of the paycheck. But let's assume for the moment that the globalists keep prices artificially high, and we've got to assume that'll be their intention. And then you've got universal basic income. So something has to give, something has to move, other things have to move around to fit into that paradigm. High prices, low income, the low income, of course, being the UBIs. Now, if you look at the amount of bedrooms in say for rent at the moment, or if you combine the amount of bedrooms, houses for sale, houses or properties, could be apartments, could be freestanding houses, whatever. So the amount of bedrooms and then the amount of people that technically at least are looking, there's more bedrooms than there are people currently. Now, if mass immigration to the West continues, and the globalists certainly do want that, and they want high prices for their goods and services, they definitely want that, and they want to pay less money to the population, they definitely want that. So we've got to assume that's going to be around, give or take, that's the equation. So that UBI has to fit in. So really, in order to pay the rents that the globalists want, so they get the high, the supernormal profits and returns on their investments, while everyone else does it tough. The universal basic income means that there has to be 2.2 people per bedroom. Assume everyone's getting the UBI. The 2.2 people per bedroom. That's the only thing. So say a three bedroom house, rather, 3-bedroom property needs 6.5 people. This is the mathematics of it. 6.5 people getting, or 6.6 people getting paid the universal basic income, and that would be that would be tight. Assuming the universal basic income is paid no matter what, they don't have to worry about being sick or something like that. But that's how many people need. So really, the idea of independent living for again, 99.5% of the population will be gone as the years roll on here. Insofar as, in order to make rent viable, unless property prices tumble, and they're not going to, the globalists will ensure that they're artificially pumped and kept high. This means that it's going to be taken out of the hide and out of the ass of the populace. And so communal living will be the only way. So between 6 and 7 people will be needed in a 3-bedroom, between 4 and 5 people in a 2-bedroom, 2 people in a 1-bedroom, 9 people in a 4-bedroom, and so on, or between 9 and 10. And 5-bedroom between 12 and 13, and so on. Now, we're already seeing that sort of living, and I've noticed this around here when offshore investors buy, the Asian investors buy the property, that they immediately stack their peasant coolie, workers, their slave workers in there. So bingo, you've got 20 people, 30 people in the fucking house. Illegal, but everyone's looking the other way. No one's trying to enforce the local council rules or ordinances or anything like that. So that's how it's going. So communal living will become now, unless you've got a large family, which would suit the brown and the black people. But if you're a white person and you don't have the large family, then you're going to have to share houses, maybe even bedrooms, people you don't know, that aren't from your family, and that have no investment in the future of the society or anything. I mean, those are sort of, they have no future, no investment in the future. They have nothing to look forward to. They're existing and with quite a meager existence day to day. And those will be the people that you're sharing the property with or sharing the bedroom with. It's a rather sobering and hardly a comforting thought. But then you look at food as the next, or transport, maybe, but food. I mean, if you go to UBI, you don't have to travel anywhere. And this is maybe the 15-minute city type concept will come in. But they can't put 15-minute cities everywhere. There just simply isn't the population density. That sort of raises the possibility of everyone being herded into what will be modern concentration camps, simply to achieve the critical population mass within the geographical area to satisfy the 15-minute city architecture. But putting travel aside for 1 minute, look at the food. Food will have to be communal. It's cheaper to cook for 7 people than it is for per head than it is for one person. So buying food and particularly the cooking it, could be a serious issue there for a cost saving. So living communally, which means you have to live around the kitchen again communally. Now, I don't know how that would work. Are they going to just drug everybody, so like zombies, or sort of people you just sort of exist with a zombie-like stare into the distance. I don't know how that's going to be managed. One would suspect that there'll be a great deal of a lot of challenges there. If they succeed, as they certainly will at the moment anyway, having white people as minority in every white country, then they could probably further humiliate and crush white people by saying, well, you've been allocated a bedroom in a house where there are 6 black people. They all know each other, and you're the outsider. We'll put you in. That'll be another way of crushing and humiliating and eradicating white society. So, because white people getting together, they may procreate, for goodness sakes. Can't have that. So there could be a number, but these are the basic economics of it. That's how many people you'll need per bedroom and in a property to make the profits that the globalists want for property investment and viability, even absolute minimum baseline viability for the tenants of the property. And again, that's the sort of the ratio of persons per bedroom, again, assuming UBI are going to be needed. This will be a radical change in how white people in white countries, white polities live. And for the peasants from the third world, their life hasn't really changed that much. They're still living communally, still cooking communally, still existing communally with their village and with their diaspora, and they're still now they've just got the benefit of running water and flushing toilets, so they're kind of moved up a little bit but for white people it's all downhill, and it's certainly not a comforting thought. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.